Every time you start your vehicle, the interlock device will measure your blood alcohol concentration, or BAC. This information is then sent to Transport for New South Wales for monitoring. The Alcohol Interlock Program requires 0 BAC. If you try to start your vehicle with alcohol in your system, your vehicle will be locked and the failed test result will be shared with Transport for New South Wales. The interlock device takes your photo every time you use it, so it's important to follow the instructions your provider gives you to take an accurate and clear photo. Because interlock devices detect the presence of alcohol on your breath, it's important that you do not use the device as a breathalyzer, just to check if you're okay to drive. You can learn more about how long alcohol takes to clear from your system by visiting the Health New South Wales website and searching effects of alcohol. If you think you may have alcohol in your system, it's best not to drive. To ensure you don't have alcohol in your system throughout a journey, the interlock also requires you to provide breath samples while you drive. When prompted, you'll need to pull over in a safe location to take the test within 10 minutes. It is important not to panic, but to take the time to find a safe place to stop. Do not switch off the engine to take this test. If you fail a breath test, you will receive a warning from Transport for New South Wales. If you're in the last 6 months of the program, your time may be extended. Your interlock provider will provide full training on using your interlock device. A few key things to remember though. 1. Avoid using hand sanitizer for 10 minutes before starting your vehicle and while using your interlock device to ensure the reading is correct. 2. Avoid using products such as mouthwash or cough syrup for 15 minutes before starting your vehicle. Make sure any product you eat or drink before and while driving has 0 alcohol content. 3. The Alcohol Interlock Program requires 0 blood alcohol concentration. So if you try to start your vehicle with alcohol in your system, you may fail the breath test, and this result will be recorded by your interlock device. If you think there is any chance you have alcohol in your system, then it is important you do not attempt to start the car or drive. 4. When using your interlock device, you should be positioned in front of the camera to have a clear view of yourself. Remember to remove sunglasses, hats, or any items that may make it difficult for Transport for New South Wales to identify you in the image. This instruction applies to anyone driving your device-fitted vehicle. You'll need to make sure that your interlock device is serviced regularly. These visits may be scheduled every 30 or 60 days or every 90 days if you live in an area remote from a provider. All interlocks have a countdown to alert you to when you must attend the service. If you don't attend a service within 7 days of a due date, you'll be locked out from driving your vehicle. This means you'll have to contact your interlock provider and possibly incur added costs. Transport for New South Wales may also suspend your licence, so it's important to know your service schedule and to stick to it. Remember that if your interlock licence becomes inactive for any reason, for example if it is suspended or has expired, that time won't count towards completing your interlock period ordered by the court, which means your time in the program will be extended. If you've met the requirements of the program, you will be sent a letter from Transport for New South Wales. You can then visit a Service New South Wales centre to obtain a driver licence that does not carry the interlock condition, and you can go to your interlock provider to have the interlock device removed. If you haven't met the requirements of the program, you'll need to visit your GP again to assess whether you need to stay in the program for an added length of time. The best thing you can do while on the program is to follow the conditions of an interlock licence and not drink and drive. For more information, visit the New South Wales Government website.